What is up? Good morning, good morning, good morning. I'm very excited about today. Very excited about today. Ryan Cabrera is going to be on. I've known this dude for close to 20 years. And finally he got engaged. We'll talk about that. I'm so excited to talk about him. Like, I just remember meeting him in, I believe it was Miami or Austin, Texas. And we just became really, really good friends, me and Ryan. And we've been friends ever since. Like, he is a great dude, just a genuine great guy. A lot of you guys checking in. If you got any questions for Ryan, feel free. Jump in the mix. Ask away on the comments. I'll get them in. Feel free to leave some stars if you want. Each star you leave is a penny. So there you go. If you feel like spreading some love, give me a penny. Ryan Cabrera going to be here. He's supposed to be in right now. But, you know, in great Ryan fashion, he is always late. He is always late. But he will be here in the next 2 minutes. Actually, let me text this Ryan Cabrera guy right now and see where he's at. Let's do this. I'm just texting him. Let's do this. Let me tell you, Ryan, he has such a great career and just just so much I want to ask him because we haven't really had one of these in-depth conversations in a while. So I'm excited about that. Did anyone watch This Is Us? I did not see it. But I definitely want to check that out tonight. Yesterday, I felt great. I hosted the Real Screen Awards. It was awesome. I got so much love from that. So that made me feel good because, you know, I was going through this thing where I would be up for a job and then go, oh, well, you'll get the job if these celebrities don't want it. And then, of course, the celebrities want the job. So it's that thing where I'm always like second or third. You know, I've never – but I've gotten a lot of jobs. But where I am now, it's like me against a celebrity. You know, and usually I lose because the celebrity is bigger. But my goal for this year, and this is my positive words, my goal for this year is to keep pushing, because it's going to happen. This year, I'm going to get that call and they're going to be like, yo, we choose you instead of that celebrity because we see what you do. We know what you bring. You are worth it. And that's my goal for this year. And that's my goal. It's tough, though, man, when you get so many no's, but that's Hollywood. It's all about the no's. It's all about the no's. What else is going? Oh, so last night, if you're a big fan of Cobra Kai, I know a lot of it. I love Cobra Kai, but if you're a big fan of Cobra Kai, I have I perform with one of my good friends. Ryan just texted me. Let's see what he's saying. Your browser, dude. You have to use Chrome. Not Safari. Sorry, he's trying to look. I should have told him that though. He's trying to log in with Safari. On this program, you got to use Chrome. Chrome's at the bottom of your screen, bro. There he is. Cabrizi. Hold on. What's up, bro? Now, before we start, you were live. So
okay, we're live.
This live on Facebook. I love how
what up, my man?
Yeah, how you been, bro?
Dude, life has been all kinds of everything. You know, obviously we all know, you know, what's going on in the world, but you know, for me, it's been weird because I miss performing obviously so much, like for a live crowd. Obviously anybody who has been touring as much as I have in my past, that's like how I feel normal, is getting on stage and performing. And that to me, like, is kind of a home. But what this, you know, time has allowed me to do was meet, you know, the love of my life and get to spend time with her, a lot of quality time that we normally wouldn't get to spend with each other because I'm always on the road and she's always on the road. So we really looked at it as like, this has been our year of just growing closer and closer and closer together and really like learning who each other is. And I think, you know, your boy got engaged this last year.
No, man, I heard the news. I hit you up right away. I was like, wow, because look,
crazy.
We have a history.
Yeah, but we got a long history.
We got a long
It
history.
actually started right here.
Yeah, in Florida, Miami.
Yes, it did. And I probably look more like that though.
Yeah, you did. You had the spiky hair. People
Yeah.
love that hair.
That's the guy you met. You met that guy.
That's well, and I've grown to love this guy right here that I'm talking to. But when we met, man, you know, like we were both in our younger days, and we had a lot of fun, and we went out a lot. We had some epic moments. You know, rest in peace, Chewy. But Chewy was part.
Oh my God, that Fort Lauderdale trip.
We
got so many stories that we probably aren't allowed to tell. But man,
no, we won't. We won't, because now we're happily. I'm married with 2 kids. You're engaged. Those stories never need to come up again.
Except for you. Except the only difference is you look exactly the same. You don't age. I got a beard now. So look at that, all grown up.
I know. You got a beard. You got some facial hair. So does your lady like facial hair, or does she like you clean shaven?
She's a fan. No. She's a fan. I always thought, you know, she was crazy. I'm like, what are you talking about? I can't grow facial hair. I didn't even know I could. And she's like, well, I think you could. So I was like, you know what better time to just grow out the beard, and it grew out. And I've learned to love the fact that I don't have to shave every day.
It's great, man. It's great. Like I kind of, we're in the same position because, you know, I do a lot of stand-up comedy, and when I'm on stage,
I watched your stuff last night, by the way. I showed like all your stuff.
Thank you, man.
And oh my God, he's so funny. I know.
It's like he's my friend. I know.
Yeah,
So I performed last night. You know, do you know Brett Ernst? He's in Cobra Kai. Okay, so I performed with him. We got like a little show in Vegas, and it's spread out. It's great. So literally, you stay in the back, you come out, do your set, and leave. But it felt
just one of the things that we were just talking about last night. That's why we were watching your the clips from your special. I was like, I miss stand-up comedy so much. Like out of everything, you know, obviously, you know, I miss concerts and stuff, but you know, I used to go every week.
All the time.
Every week. I would go on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, you know, Laugh Factory, Improv, all that stuff. So now that you're doing shows in Vegas, I'm going to have to come see you, and I'm not even joking. So you got to let me know next time you do one.
100%, because, you know, after, you know, my whole COVID story, I would assume, right?
No, what happened?
What almost died from COVID.
Wow. No. I had no idea.
In early March, I was in ICU for 8 days. Like I was the first person in Burbank with it at the hospital.
Wow.
It was crazy.
You had it, yeah, when it was like
I had OG COVID.
Yeah, people didn't know, old school. Yeah, people were trying to figure out what to do next. Dude, I had no idea, man.
Yeah, so the second night my temperature got to 104.8, almost died, but I made it through. So, well, I forgot the point I was trying to make with that, but shit, I forgot. I forgot what
Vegas, you're doing your stand up in Vegas, and then you.
Oh yeah. So after that, me and my wife was just like, you know what? Let's get out of here. So we sold our house in LA. We rent a place out there because I'm shooting a couple shows out there this year. But we're gonna go back and forth. Huh?
You're in Vegas now?
Love it, bro. Love it.
See, you're like me, like the same thing. You know, going.
Are you in Florida now?
Yeah, we live in Florida.
Nice.
We were going back and forth, you know, up until everything kind of happened. You know, obviously, you know, everything in California started to shut down. And we found ourselves just being, you know, happy out here. And we, you know, and then our life kind of started out here. So now, yeah, I'm never thought I'd see that day, but yeah, I'm out of LA right now, and we are living in Orlando.
Do you miss LA? I mean, forget about the COVID stuff, but do you miss LA?
Well, yeah, I mean, there's great parts about what's going on here, and there's great parts of, you know, that you can't replace in LA. I miss my friends, like my friend group that, you know, I've built over the past 20 years the most, you know, more than the city itself. Even though I love LA, you know, like it's beautiful. Every time I go back, like, oh my gosh, there's so much to look at. You know, my home is LA. Yeah. But now this is like my house. You know, like I'm very happy here playing golf all the time. Obviously, these aren't things that's gonna be full time, because right now I'm living the retired Florida life.
Yes.
Other than doing, you know, some charity stuff, I kind of focused on doing a lot of charity stuff last year, which I got to do, you know, which I've always, you know, done, but I got to do more of it. And, you know, kind of perform in that manner. But other than that, you know, me and Johnny Damon golfing every week, you know, doing karaoke every week. In our how we have a home karaoke system. So that's been fun. And, you know, obviously Disney World here is, you know, me. I'm a Disney guy. So we got Disney, Universal, and I've always liked Florida, you know.
Yeah.
me and you have a lot of history here. So
Yeah. So the question is like, do you think because Alexa is your fiance's name, correct?
Lexi, yeah,
Lexi.
Lexi.
Uh
Alexa,
Alexia.
yeah, that's her wrestling name.
Okay, well, what should I call her?
That's a wrestling stripper name. Depends. Do you want stripper version or do you want real
I want the real version.
girl? Lexi.
Lexi. Okay, so when you met Lexi, do you think because a pandemic happened? Because what I feel like I've never spent so much time with my family so much. I feel like this 1 year is literally like my parents' 10 years.
Entire.
Because my dad would go to work at like 8 and come back at 6:30, say hi to me, and then go to bed, you know?
Yeah. Maybe get some food real quick, probably take it to the bedroom and then pass out and then wake up the next day, say good morning. This has definitely allowed us to, wake up together, spend the day together, spend the nights together, and obviously learn that, we could be together at all hours and not want to pull each other's hair out.
Let me ask you this though.
My only concern, I don't know what you want to call it, but issue is every once in a while when we're sleeping, she swings her elbow and I'm like, babe, wake up. She's a wrestler. So she just instinctually does like a lot of, and I just hear right next to my ear, I hear, and I'm like, whoa, okay, you almost got me with the people's elbow. I don't like it. So,
that's hilarious.
Other than that, it's been great.
She's a beautiful woman, of course, but is there anything when y'all first started dating that was kind of like a pet peeve? Like what my wife does is, I'll give you an example of my wife. She'll do the toothpaste and leave like the ring of the toothpaste just with like it just gets really all just kind of, and she never rolls it up. Yeah, and I'm like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Yeah. And that's just a pet. Is there a pet peeve of her that she had to get over with you, or vice versa?
I'm sure there's way more that I do than what she does. There's a couple, but I do. I'll tell you hers. But I know there was a friend like that was telling me like, I never realized how much I hate the way he eats a banana. So ever since quarantine, like when I hear him eat a banana, I'm like, that's so funny. That's a friend of ours. But with her, the whole thing, she's, who she is. She's the girl, and like this drives me crazy. But it's fun in a funny way, like not really actually crazy. But so when I like took her, this is when we're first starting to get to know each other. I took her to In-N-Out for the first time.
Yep.
There's been a lot of things like she's traveled the world, been to so many places, but they get there, they work. She's been to LA 100 times, but never done anything. She's go to the hotel, go to Staples Center, do the show, go to the next city. So I'm like, you never had In-N-Out. There's so many things that I'm trying to teach her.
Broaden her horizons.
Yeah. So now she loves LA, which is great because we've been back and forth. She loves it out there. But took her to In-N-Out for the first time. Like, would you like it in the car or go please? Because you can do both. But I'm the kind of guy that likes to get my food, get home, set it all up, get the sauces ready, put the movie on, or whatever it is you're gonna watch, the TV show, your jam, have it ready, and then you start. So I get the bag, curl it up, to keep it nice and hot, and I look at her and I'm like, I don't know. And I put the bag in the back seat. She goes, "Why'd you just do that?" I was like, the kind of girl who puts a hand in the bag and grabs all the fries on our way home. Everything gets colder, and it's not like an ordeal. And she's like, "I'm 100% that girl." She's like, "Give me that bag." So she's the fry grabber.
Before
I'm home to eat it.
I'm the type of person that can't wait either. Like as soon as I gotta eat it.
Everyone's like they like to get home, have the bag fresh, so we can eat it together.
I've never heard of anyone doing that besides.
She got her mittens in the In-N-Out fries. I'm like, hey.
I've never heard of anyone waiting till they got home except you, Ryan. Like, especially if other people here. You're weird. Yes, you're weird.
But it's so much better when you get home, have it all set up. You got to get the sauce. You got to get
it gets cold.
Ranch, the ketchup. No. That's why you wrap the bag at home. Oh my gosh. Yeah, no.
Come on now. If you want to drop a question in the comments for Ryan, feel free. Millie says, congratulations.
Oh, thank you. Oh, I didn't even know there was comments. I'm seeing it now. This is awesome.
Oh yeah, I didn't put any up. So Tommy says, good morning, Michael. That's to me. Millie just said, I'm eating fries. I'm eating the fries. And you see there?
Keisha says they're not hot.
That's right.
I've learned
Lamar Parker says, "What's good, Mr. Ryan? What's brand new with you? New kind of music, business, owner, acting. What are you doing right now,
You know
Ryan?"
what? There's actually been a lot going on. You know what I've learned, which you kind of always known, but there's a lot of business and like fun stuff to be worked out on the golf course. That's definitely one thing I've learned out here. Been golfing so much, so every time we golf, it's literally like an office. And now that's not just my excuse to why I golf 3 times a week for Lexi, because she's like, you golf a lot. I'm like, well, to be fair, like when we go out, me and Johnny go out, we're talking, business in between shots and all that kind of stuff. So it is fun. But then at the same time, he's got a new drink line called A Game that's going to be coming out soon. So, we've been, working on that, putting all together. A charity event that's coming up next week for the Johnny Damon Foundation. And then I do have a new song. So if anybody goes to my Instagram and sees the proposal video. So the proposal I did at Epcot after it was shut down. So it was closed. So that way, there was nobody around. We didn't have to worry about, people around with the masks. Cause you can eat and drink with, masks on when you're stationary at Disney World. But so Epcot's closed down. Nobody's in the park. And I had my song that I wrote for her, which is the new song. So that's the new music for the question, played during that. So if anybody watches the proposal video on Instagram, there's a little clip that's going to be a single, but we're kind of waiting, for, things to get a little, I put out some stuff, just like fun stuff on the side. But once, things kind of, get figured out and hopefully get back to normal, we'll be dropping that song. So if you want to hear it, go watch that proposal video. I can't watch it because I'll just start crying.
Oh my goodness, yes. Every time I watch my proposal,
I saw yours.
Oh yeah, I went all in. I went all in, bro.
Yeah,
you got to go all in.
It's the best. Did you black out?
I kind of did. Like I was so nervous. It's weird because we performed in front of thousands of people, but for some reason, performing for one, dropping to that knee. Oh my God.
The whole day or however long you play it. Mine was like 3 months in the making. All that leading up to that one moment. You get that. Yeah. And then after we had, I had all our friends waiting to, surprise her with champagne, all that stuff, and family and all that. And they're like, "Oh my God, what did you say?" And I'm like, "I don't know."
Yeah.
Like I was down, we were dancing. I was, saying all this stuff to her. And then I was down on one knee, like saying all this stuff I could see in the video. And it's like, "What did you say?" I'm like, "I don't know." But it was a beautiful moment. And I'm very, very excited about that song. It's a ballad. And, for me, I think ballads, you can't go wrong with a ballad. We have like most of the new album done. And it's like fun and upbeat and like, what you kind of expect, but then there's this one song that I wrote for her that I'm like, you can't deny a good ballad.
Oh, so yeah.
Normally you don't lead with, a ballad like that, but I'm like, acoustic guitar and a vocal and some strings. And I think it's going to hit home and a lot of people will be able to relate to it.
What was your first date like with Lexi?
Our first date, we went to see Last Christmas at Disney Springs. That was my first actually probably official date. I never did dates because we were, in LA, you're just always in a social circle and you're around a lot of people and you start talking and you meet, people are a lot of times it was at my house because I used to have people over all the time, and you would just meet, hang out, you're part of the crew. Then all of a sudden you're dating and we were just always around each other. But now I'm like, this is a good girl. The first time we hung out was, I performed at Epcot, the Food and Wine Festival with Joey Fatone. We did Joey and Friends. So
that's cool.
She came to the show and just she was very quiet and, kind of kept herself, didn't say much. And then after, we did 3 sets. So after the second set, I'm like, hey, we're going to go bowling after this if you want to hang out after, because we didn't really get to talk much because she was just watching.
Wait, did you invite her to the show?
I invited her to the show, yeah.
Okay, got you. Okay.
We lived in Orlando. I was flying to Orlando to do the show. I was like, hey, do you want to come? And she comes to the show. Then after I invited her bowling, she's like, I probably should get home. It's getting kind of late. And then she just looks at her watch. It's 8:30. And I'm like, so she goes back. And then Nick, my manager, is like, so how'd it go? I'm like, well, she's not here. And it's 8:30. She just told me. So I'm like, I don't know if it went well. And then I asked my buddy Miz, I'm like, dude, because they wrestle together. I'm like, is she really quiet and shy and standoffish? She's like, no. I'm like, huh, all right. I think she was just feeling it out because she dated a musician in the past, way back, and it did not go well. which I'm sure a lot of people have stories about musicians and what they think. They're like, I read about what I'm like all the time. And I'm like,
Oh yeah.
not really, but okay. So she had that kind of in her mind of like, okay, he's a musician. He probably,
Player.
Yeah. I'm like,
Yeah.
well, maybe in my 20s, but not in my 30s. So, so she kind of had that in her mind. But then, eventually, I asked her out during the day. We went and saw a movie during the day. We ended up just like kind of talking and laughing the whole movie. I mean, we watched the movie kind of, but we were just like laughing and kind of bantering back and forth. So I was like, that went surprisingly well. I'm like, okay. Like, I really into this girl. And then the funny thing was, so, with our schedules, like lining up somebody's schedule with somebody else's schedule in the entertainment business, kind of never going to happen. So I'm like, well, I'm going to be in Chicago next week I'm playing the Thanksgiving Day parade. And she's like, weird, I'm going to be in Chicago too for, SmackDown. And I'm like, well, let's hang out. That was the next week. So when we were in Chicago, we linked up, hung out in Chicago. Then we like looked at our schedules again. I'm like, well, I'm going to be in New York the following week for something. She's like, I'm going to be in New York for Rumble or whatever it was. I'm like, let's hang out. So we hung out in New York. Then she happened to be in Dallas. When I was in Dallas, I was visiting family. She was shooting a music video for Bone for Soup. And I'm like, what is happening right now? We didn't go, I'm telling you, maybe more than 3 days without seeing each other. And we lived on opposite sides of the country.
Wow.
And then after that, she came to LA and we hung out, watched Cowboys. She learned real quick. So if she hung out with me still after watching what I was like during the Cowboys game, then we're good.
You still like that awful team? That's terrible, Ryan. I know you're from Dallas. I know
can't not like them. I mean, fortunately, I moved to a place that our closest football team is the Bucks. So
there you go. And by the way,
but I'm still Cowboys at heart. I don't care how bad we are; it doesn't matter. Still Cowboys. I go nuts.
And by the way, your boy Tony Romo crushes it as an announcer, man.
He's amazing.
He's so good,
and that's how he is every day in real life too. He's always talking football. He's always been doing that. So like when you get together, like you go on vacations, like we went to Cabo. It's like him and Witten, a couple of other players, and they're just talking football the entire time, plays, like all this stuff. I'm like, do you ever just like,
chill?
Ocean breeze? Nope. It's always football. So he was made for that. And
yeah, he's so good.
Yeah, they make those memes about, bring Tony back. I'm like, he would never. He's sitting in the booth just killing it, And I think, for the first time, people are realizing how smart he is about just the game.
Oh, absolutely. He'll say something and then it happens, like literally as he's saying it. He says, well, I think they're going to do this. And then they do that. It's like,
well, I mean, it's a great, quarterback, obviously Troy is great too, but Tony's just funny.
Who's going to win the Super Bowl, Kansas City or Tampa Bay?
What, how you going to put me on a spot like that? There could be people from Kansas City right now.
Oh, obviously, no, it's okay. It's all good. Oh, I'm saying Kansas City, it's not going to even be close. The Bucs are going to get stomped. That's what I'm saying.
I can see that happening for sure if I wasn't, here. If I was just in, LA just saying it, it's one thing. But I'm here, so I got to go with Brady.
Oh, stop! What does it matter where you are, Ryan? When have you ever?
It sure does.
Why?
Game. It's 1 hour away.
Are you going to the Super Bowl?
No, I'm going to go down there on Saturday, but I'm going to come back Sunday because one, I got a soccer game. And two, I actually like watching it at home better than it's just a different. I mean, it's fun, obviously. There's a lot of energy and whatnot. And the Bucs Stadium is actually really fun. I went to the Green Bay game when they played them this year. Fun, but not as fun as watching it at home with all the commercials and all
so that. True. And you used to throw some epic Super Bowl parties, man.
I wish I could do that again.
Yeah, you will. Eventually, you will.
Next year.
100%.
I think 100% Tony will coach one day.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, he absolutely, because when he was playing, he was always coaching. I mean, like he's such a leader, and anybody that's around him, like you're listening, and you're like, okay, even if he's wrong, you're like that's probably right. To lead, and I think he'd be a great coach. If anything, I mean, I'm sure he probably coaches his son's games.
Exactly. What has changed about you, you think, now that you're an engaged man? What's the biggest change in you over the last couple of years?
Living to make sure that someone else is happy before me, making sure that, it's not what I always want to do, which is what I was used to before. Now it's like thinking of her before myself, and then making sure to do it, follow through.
Are you kind of, and nervous is the wrong word, but do you ever think, okay, it's great right now, but once we get back to doing our own things,
You
what's
know,
going to happen then?
that the only thing that's going to be tough, I think, for us is just missing each other, but we're used to it. It's not like, she's been doing it for 6, 7 years now, and I've been doing it for like 20. So, we're kind of used to that life, but at least, we're going the hardest part first.
Yeah.
Then, the next part is going to be just, I miss you, can't wait to see you kind of thing. But then it'd also be nice, I'm sure she's probably like, go play a show, come back.
Yeah, get out of here.
Yeah. Go do your thing. But no, I think it's going to be great. And, obviously, I think for a lot of people, that's going to be tough to adjust back to what life was like before getting to spend all this time together.
How far into dating Lexi did you know she was the one? Like, this is it. How many days?
Right out the gate. Maybe. So I'm telling you, I told her in Chicago, I'm going to marry you one day. Chicago.
Wow.
Second time we hung out. So we had
second time.
So Orlando, she came to the show. We went on a date during the date of the movie. Then we went bowling the next night. And then the next time we saw each other was in Chicago. I DJ'd. She came to the DJ set. We had a great time. And then I told her, I'm going to marry you one day. She thought I was batshit crazy. She's like, you're out of your mind. I'm like, all right, watch. I got to know it. And then like fast forward, when we get engaged, she just goes, after the whole thing, we're crying, like doing the whole thing. And she's like, go ahead. I'm like, what? Go ahead. I'm like, what? She's like, go ahead, say it. I was like, oh, I told you.
Yeah.
I told you in Chicago. Like, I knew it. But for me, I've, had enough experiences to know what I don't want, that when you find what you do want, you don't let it go. And that second, like,
oh yeah.
About you is what I've been looking for. And, you're smart enough now. You had enough relationships that you go, here's something that I don't want in my relationship. So I can't do that. Here's something I don't want. Here's something I don't want. And then you find someone, obviously nothing's perfect, but I was just like, everything about you, like the way you carry yourself, the way you react to my questions, like, you're funny, like,
So who said I love you first? Did you say that? And how long did it take you?
I think it's probably New Year. So maybe 3 months in.
Oh, I made my wife wait 9 months.
Wow.
Because I wanted to make it special. So it was New Year's Eve.
Ours was New Year's Eve too.
Yeah, it was a cruise in Hawaii. Fireworks are going off. Her friends were basically saying, I don't know if he likes you. He hasn't said he loved you yet. Like, oh my God.
Man, nobody can keep up with you. You're like the ultimate romantic. We're the same like that.
Thank you.
I love that.
So the fireworks are going off. My parents are on the cruise too. My dad loves dancing. So my dad literally at midnight was grinding on a pole. Just like, imagine just having a ball, fireworks. And I tell her I love her because I was like, once you keep saying it, it still means something, but I want the first time to be special. It's like my engagement. It's like our wedding. I want it to be special, So I made her wait 9 months and literally her friends thought I didn't like her. And you know how girls are. Well, he hasn't said he loves you yet. He hasn't said. So,
all of Lexi's friends, I'm sure, were probably skeptical at first too, because they don't like you got great intentions and you're a good guy, and you've been waiting for this. For me, I've been waiting for like the right relationship. I've always been like a romantic, heart, and so like I'm sure all her friends were like, Ryan Cabrera, the spiky hair kid. He blah, blah, blah. Like when me and Lexi met, she thought I was married to Ashley Simpson.
No, you're lying, right?
She thought me and Ashley were. She's like, oh yeah, that guy was married to Ashley Simpson. Like, no.
What? Like looking back, did you?
I'm sure all her friends had their like preconceived notions, but then when we all met, we all got along so well, and all her friends quickly became my friends, and all my friends quickly became her friends. So it's been great. Everyone loved it.
Was it hard to, because the wrestling, you got dudes, like huge dudes. Like, was it intimidating going into her world and knowing she knew some like
very different?
Okay.
Well, no, the hardest part is like her fan base is very different than my fan base.
Yes.
And in their world, they're very territorial over the characters. And so it's very different. So I had to get used to a lot of hate. That's, I mean, it still goes on. A lot of hate and like, shit talking and, all BS. But, people who, you're not good enough for Alexa. All, I've been called everything under the book. We had stalkers. We have people still, like, we had to get police. I had to get the chief of police to my house to, like, because I was getting so many death threats and all this stuff. Like,
and you know what's crazy about that? These are grown men.
Yeah,
doing that. It's not like kids. These are grown men.
We call them passionate.
Very passionate.
Yes. So that's been the biggest like adjustment I've had to make, is like realizing that no matter what we post, there's going to be some wrestling fans who are just going to try to smash it down and hate it. But we're happier than ever. She's happy, I'm happy. So that's all that matters. Getting used to the wrestling community is something. But I'm on Ms. and Mrs. On USA Network. Ms. has been one of my closest friends. He's one of my first friends in LA. In 2002 we met.
You always went to the SmackDowns and stuff.
Oh, yeah,
I remember you would call me all the time and say, "Hey, yo, come to Florida, come to Miami."
Yeah, the Staples Center. We've been I've been in that world for a long time. I think and I'm friends with because some of the other guys too, but I think it's just two different worlds. Singer songwriter playing pop music, and wrestling worlds don't like seem like they fit, but you'd be surprised. Like I performed at Mrs. Wedding, and like a lot of those cats, sing my songs at like karaoke, and they'll send me videos of it.
Oh, that's cool.
Wrestling fans, I don't think understand like how intertwined I've kind of been with like that world already, even before me and Lexi dating.
Well, are you like during your wedding, when you finally have your wedding, do you want a big or small one, or have you not decided? Big wedding. So,
I've been waiting. I'm like the female in this situation, and Lexi's like the dude, because I'm like, babe, what do you want to do? She's like, I've never really thought about it. Never really saw myself as like a wedding person. I'm like, what? I've been thinking about it since I was a little boy, watching all these.
Really?
Oh yeah,
really?
I'm all about it, dude. I'm a rom-com guy. And I've been waiting, like, I can't wait. Like I've thought about, she makes fun of me too, because she'll be like, so what are your thoughts? I'm like, I haven't really thought about too much, but I want to get this band. I'm going to have these guys come up. Then we're going to have this kind of this. And she's like, haven't thought about it really. I was like, no, that was a lie. All about it. Cause I've been, I love, me, like I love celebrations.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you do.
I do like birthday parties, I throw like big birthday parties. For me, it's more about getting, all the people together. And that's like the fun. Like I love weddings. It's like one of my favorite things to go to. And I've been waiting for mine, obviously. And then just, I can't imagine. Here's what I'm the most terrified of is when she walks down the aisle, I don't know how I'm going to do it.
Oh, I lost it. When I saw I lost it. I was like, and it wasn't just a cry. It was an ugly cry.
That's what I'm afraid of. That's what I don't be afraid. Put the words out.
Go with it, man, because it's so great.
I have no choice, but it's good to know that my boy had the same thing go on. So that way,
because
that gives me a little bit of less pressure to be like, okay, what are they going to do when all the pictures of me like?
Oh yeah, but it's beautiful, man. It's beautiful because my wife came down a staircase, and as soon as I saw her, oh my God, it's such an amazing feeling when you find the right one.
Yeah,
it really is. It's such an amazing feeling.
Obviously that's going to be incredible. And I've been taking notes, a lot.
Yeah.
At the beginning of our relationship of like, cause she says, I haven't really thought about it, but I'm like, there's like little hints, and I got them all in this bank right here.
Yeah.
There's gonna be some surprises. She'll be like, how did you know I love that? But cause I listen and I don't say anything. I just take those notes, and then
I'm the same way. My wife will say something from months ago, and mentally I put it in the Rolodex, and then all of a sudden I'll drop it on her, and she'll be like, "Oh my God, how'd you know?" And I was like,
that's my favorite. Yeah, because I listened to you.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I wonder. I apparently a lot of guys don't do that. So, gentlemen at home, if you're that guy that is not taking mental notes or listening, I'm telling you, it goes a long way. If you,
it's a game changer. It's a game changer. All you got to do is listen, fellas. Like that's the biggest part of a relationship. Millie says, "Real men do cry."
You think two guys like me and Yo, look at the way we do, would get smoking hot girls like that if we weren't like listeners?
You got to. That's the biggest part.
That's how you do it. What was the comment? Oh, real men
do cry. Real men do cry. I want to ask you. because Instagram, after you started dating Lexi, and especially it's blown up. You've shot up some followers and stuff. But when you were 20 years ago, on the way down guy and all that spiky hair, do you wish there was social media back then, or are you kind of happy you got to do it off the radar?
No, I mean, obviously, those things are, if you're in the entertainment world, it's a very good like tool to have to try to get to your fans. Like for back in the day, we were message boards. So I loved those because it was just like a little community and there's like different subjects, people asking questions, and it was really fun. And it was less about, less, I guess, invasive, but I love being able to connect with people, but it's also become a platform for people to just sit behind the computer and talk shit when it's like, hey, this isn't what, at least mine, like, and they're, and maybe in the wrestling world it's different because that's, they're working, they're trying to work each other. In my world, my music's always been about love and just, people like, having fun and enjoying life and really living. And to have a platform where, it can be that, the negative side also, like that part is kind of like, that's where I don't miss, back in the day when we're just playing shows, we'd play our show, and get our feedback on message boards, but not like how it is nowadays. So it was, I think, a lot simpler back then, easier. Obviously, it's a great tool. Like if you want to pump out something real quick and be like, hey, I'm going to do a surprise show tomorrow night. Boom, be there. It's a little different than us having our website because people didn't go to the website every day. People are on that gram every day.
Yes.
So that's the good part. But as far as the performer wise, I think it gave us, you spent more time working on as a musician, your music and the touring and being involved in that more than worrying about, okay, now I got to get on my blah, blah, blah. Now I got to create a TikTok now, because if I don't, then people aren't going to care.
Yeah.
Create this, and then I got to create this. And it kind of takes away from me, like about the music or focusing on that. But I do love that I can go write something right now and just put a snippet on and then put it out to fans and they just get to hear it. That part is awesome. So that would be cool to like be on the bus back in the day and like send a quick video. I love doing the cameo thing. I think that's been a blast because it makes people happy. Like someone getting if I could have gotten a personalized video from someone I was a fan of when I was a kid, I would have lost my mind.
How much are you on Cameo?
I think mine's like 60. So 60? It's yeah, I mean it's you obviously I didn't even know how to do it at first, but now I like it because I don't ever want to like go above that.
Because it needs to be accessible for everybody.
Yeah, so that way, if you're thinking about it, you do want it to be something where, okay, if you're a kid at home and you're like, oh, I'm going to save my allowance because then I'm going to spend $60 to get one of my favorite artists. Or I don't want it to be too much because I don't care about the perception of me. I've been in this business too long to worry about like, oh my God, he's only $60, or oh, that's too expensive. Like you can't worry about that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So people can afford it, and then some people work towards it, and it to be fun. I just love the fact that it's a quick way for someone to get a message from someone they love. So that thing I love. Instagram's fun, but it's never been like I have to get popular on Instagram. That's not my thing. Because teams be like, if you did this, this, and this, you build up your followers. I'm like, yeah, but that's not really me, and I'm not a follower guy. I don't really care. I just
it's really a thing where you go through. I stopped early in my career, probably about 5 years ago. In the entertainment industry, they have this thing called deadline where people read it to know what's going on in the industry, who's getting jobs and all this stuff. I had to stop watching that because my friends were getting booked, and then I start questioning, what am I doing wrong?
Right.
And I feel like Instagram is a different version of that because you see everybody shining. So literally I have all the outlets, but I hardly look at other people's feeds. I just worry about mine. And the only time I ever look at people's feeds is if I'm absolutely bored out of my mind.
Right. Yeah. There's only one time in the day for me that I really check it out.
On the toilet.
Yes,
on
sir.
the toilet.
In the Oval Office.
The Oval.
That's really the only time I ever like check it, because that's just not really my thing. It's not because I don't care about other people. It has nothing to do with that. It's just, I'd rather go about my day than
100%. 100%.
Not knocking people who love it, because it's entertainment.
It is
entertainment. I mean, you're funny, so you have but I'm not funny, so I can't like do fun videos, like that kind of stuff. All I could do is post pictures of me and my fiance and, whatever new music I have coming out. So I'm not the like, oh, I want to create a funny content video or something. I can't really do that, which is, I guess, what, jumps the numbers and stuff. But yeah,
what's the age difference with you and your girl?
I'm 38, she's 29, so 9 years.
9 years. Okay, so do you want kids or
Yeah.
not really? Oh, you do. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be such a sweet, good-looking baby.
Absolutely. When the time is right, we'll go down that road.
That's awesome, man. Like, you'd be an amazing father. And
Awesome.
what's so awesome, this
you.
is how we're the same. I'm older than you, but I got serious with my wife at like around the same age you got serious with yours.
Yeah, a little bit later. We're mature.
But because I tell everybody, like all my friends, you can date somebody, but once you hit 30, like you shouldn't get married or engaged till 30 because you don't really know about yourself. Like women mature faster than guys.
It will change a lot. Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, Lexi's way more mature than I am.
Yeah, because my wife was like, I wish we would have met like 10 years earlier. I'm like, no, you don't.
Oh yeah, I think he's right. We say the same thing. Like except for she just goes, she does the opposite. She goes, I'm so glad I didn't meet you 10 years before because this would not have worked because I'm honest about everything. Like my past, like all the stuff that is going on because I think it's important. But she's like, oh, I'm so glad we didn't meet back then. Like, yeah, you're right. It wouldn't have been right. But this timing was perfect. So I think with you guys too, it was the perfect time for you in your life. So therefore, wouldn't change a thing.
When you do have kids, 2 is a lot harder than 1. Like it's a total different game.
But yeah, one of my best friends she's now 3. And yeah, I've been through it with them. I'm Uncle Ryan, so.
One of my friends that has like 5 kids said, if you have 2, you can have 10 because literally it's nonstop anyway. You're just adding another baby. So you're going all the time. Man, I tell you, I love it, but it's so draining, bro. It is so draining, like mentally, physically, and because I'm not traveling. Usually I get a break like on the weekends, kind of like bounce out. But now I'm in it all the time. And I'm like, I looked at my wife and go, you're an amazing woman. I don't know how stay-at-home moms do it. Like
yeah, that's God bless.
It's insane.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was saying, but it's worth it. So
100%. Do you what's next for you, man? You got some music you're working on? Anything else?
I think I'm gonna do another virtual show. I did for the first time.
Right, I read about that. I saw it on your website.
Yeah, I did the first album front to back, and that went really, really well. So I'm like, what would be fun since we can't really, tour yet. I'm gonna do the second album front to back, and then probably the third album front to back. Just to keep playing, and it's something that I've never done before, and that for me right now is important. After you have like your goals and stuff, and like the venues you want to play at, and now that I've kind of hit all the stuff I want to do. It's like, what'd be fun is going back and like doing something I've never done. And that is play those albums, every song on the album. There's certain songs you look at like your concerts and you start to realize like, man, I've been playing kind of like this roughly, I never play the same set list, but like roughly the same set, for a long time. And there's songs that I'm sure is somebody's favorite song that they've never heard live and never will. So I just thought it was a kind of a cool concept. There's a lot of songs on You Stand Watching, which is the one that album that had like Shine On and Photo that I've never played live before. So I'm going to do that front to back, I think in March, and then see what happens in the world. I mean, right now, our tour is me, Sugar Ray, and O-Town, which is we call it the Pop 2K tour, which was supposed to be all last year, got moved to all of this year. Don't know if that's going to happen yet.
Yeah.
But our first date's supposed to be in June. Doubtful, but maybe. But hopefully.
Where at in June? Do you know?
I believe our first show would be Vegas. Red Rock.
Oh, what? This dude will be there.
Let's go. But if it happens,
if it happens, yeah.
It'll obviously the future of concerts is still in question of how they do it safely. And if the problem I think is if you do a limited capacity, then you're gonna have to up ticket prices. And that's always tough because you don't want to be in order to, for the tour to somehow work and be successful, you'd have to be charging 3 times the amount of price tickets. So if it's like a third less crowd, you're having to upcharge it 3 times just to, meet your guarantees and like that is still iffy. Like, do you want to do that? Like, is that
Yeah.
fair? I don't know, but people want to see concerts so bad. They may be like, I don't care what the ticket price is. If it's $90, I'm going. Or they may be like, dude, that's just too much. I can't afford it because it's a tough time. So it's a kind of catch 2022 in that scenario, but we'll see. I can't wait on stage again. Dude, that's my home. So I'm sure I'm gonna come see you though if you're doing another show before.
Oh yeah. By then, by June, or like I'll have so many different shows. I'll be, because I'm treated like in LA where I pop on different clubs and stuff like that. So yeah, so I'll be doing that. But I want to know, throughout your 20-year history, in the music game, when you were like, just at the moment you were huge, is there one thing that sticks out in your mind, like the coolest shit that happened during that one time?
Sure. For me, I like, because I was a huge, well, still am a huge, like, Bill Withers, Smokey Robinson, that's my music. That's what and so I got to perform at the Songwriters Hall of Fame because I got 2 awards that year for True and On the Way Down were the most played songs of the year. So I got 2 awards and I got to perform a Sherman Brothers song for the Sherman Brothers. And I'm a huge Disney fan as well. So Bill's, everybody's there. The Sherman Brothers, if you don't know at home, wrote some of the most iconic Disney songs of all time. So I got to do one of their songs in front of them, and so that was a huge honor for me. Obviously, getting the awards was great, but didn't care about that as much as performing My Girl with Smokey, with Bill Withers, Peebo Bryson, Richie Sambora, John Fogerty, Chris Tucker was up there.
Oh man.
And I'm just looking around at, like, all these legends, and that guy, spiky ass hair, singing My Girl with all these legends, and I'm like, how did I get here? Like, what just happened? Like, I got no business being on that stage. I'll be the first to tell you, but I did it, and I killed it. It was a damn good time.
That's amazing.
In my head.
In your head, you killed it.
But in my head, I'm just like, I don't even care, because I'm up here, and then I had Bill sign my guitar after, and he just looks at me and he goes, "You're the future, bro." And he signed my guitar, and I'm like, Bill Withers just told me I'm the future. I was like, I'm gonna cry. That was nuts. That hands down is probably the coolest moment for me, because I'm such a fan, and like I said, I had no business being with those guys, but I did it.
Dude, well, Ryan, I just wanted to check in with you, man. Like, I'm so happy for everything that's going on in your life. You're happy. We're both growing.
Now I know you're in Vegas, so now we're gonna get to hang.
Oh yeah, anytime you're in Vegas, hit me. I don't care if it's for a couple of hours. I'll meet you at the airport, grab a drink with you or whatever. Whatever. If you just
when's your next comedy show?
I have one tonight with Brent Erst.
Okay, when's your comedy show that I could actually make?
I don't know. I'll let you know. I got some in February in Las Vegas. But also now that I know you're in Florida, I do the Orlando Improv a lot as well. So
dude, is that open? I don't even know.
I don't know, but when it does open, I'll be out there as well.
Like, yeah, where do we go to comedy out here? Because I can't live without stand-up. She said, yeah, the Improv. So when that happens, we're definitely doing that. Come stay at the house. And bring the kids, whatever you want.
All right, man. Well, I appreciate you, and we'll talk soon. All right, bro?
Anytime, buddy. And thanks everybody for watching.
All right. Later, bro.
Bye, buddy.
That is Ryan Cabrera right there. That is Ryan Cabrera. Thank you so much for watching The Morning Yell. I just love to catch up with people on this show. Like, Ryan's such a good dude. I'm happy he's happy. Remember, it's all about positivity and love on this podcast, man. Morning Yo, every single morning, 9 a.m. Thank you. Thank you. I'm looking at you. Thank you. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it. I will see you tomorrow. Late.